Hi, everyone. I'm immigration attorney John Khosravi. Thank you for joining us today, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time on December 22nd, here to take your live questions about U.S. immigration law, general education stuff. You need to consult with an attorney in private to really get definitive answers on your specific issue. But we take your questions here about 2 years now, every Wednesday, taking your questions live. So we keep the streak alive. Before we start, I want to remind everybody who's watching live and for those who watch the video to come and tune in live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, because what we do is we give away free consultations for live viewers. And that includes a free 15-minute video consultation to discuss your case in private. To be able to take part in this, if you're watching this, just click like, subscribe, and leave a comment saying consultation. And every 10 minutes, so it's a 30-minute show, we have 3 free consultation giveaways, raffles. Every 10 minutes, my assistant will name a person that applied for it, and we'll name you off and we'll give you instructions on how to schedule the private consultation. And also, for those who are interested in doing a fiance or marriage case to learn more about it, want to learn more about it, just visit our website, marriageimmigrationlaw.com. And what you'll find is the ultimate marriage green card guide there, a real good breakdown of the whole process in a lot of detail. The best thing you'll find out there, and it's free. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com to better understand the process before you even hire your attorney, so you go in prepared to know what questions to ask. And with that, let's get things started. So, it's Tenzin, a viewer. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, Tenzin. Thanks for joining. We have different regular viewers tuning in right now. The immigration system, it kind of is like everything slows down a little bit during December, but not too much. It can be more than already things are slower. And in the U.S. side, it's not too bad when it comes to adjustment of status, but things like work permits and stuff are still taking forever. And the embassy portion, God knows how long that's going to take. So that's a miserable thing to deal with. But different parts have different speeds. So, like, for example, if you're marrying and getting a green card through marriage, if you're married to U.S. citizens, it's relatively fast, despite what the processing times say for the various service centers for like an I-130 petition. Some will say it takes 2 years, 3 years. I was looking up a spouse of a green card holder case. They said it takes like, I don't know, 24 months to 50 months, some ridiculous kind of numbers, which is not true. Usually it's done in 18 to maybe 20 months or something like that. Typically, for my cases, I've seen it done in 4 or 5 months even, and U.S. citizens half that time. But these delays exist. So if you're a green card holder filing for spouse, it just gets more and more delayed on that aspect. But the timelines that they quote don't always match reality. But that's the thing. Some stuff is fast, some slow. It is very, very frustrating. There's this talk about humanitarian parole, a special permission to be able to come into the United States because of humanitarian reason. That's an unknown thing, how long it'll take too. Tens of thousands of people have applied for it, many people from Afghanistan. They don't have enough staff to review this. So it's an unknown system, and we get a lot of questions on the show about timelines. There's no real way to give a good answer to that. We give general kind of stuff with averages we've seen recently but things change on a dime. And just because an average time for something is a certain amount, it doesn't mean it's the same for your case. So patience is the name of the game when you're dealing with U.S. immigration. So let's take a question. Noah asks, hi, John. I'm a U.S. citizen living overseas. Would the rest of my family qualify for NIE visa should the U.S. borders close down due to COVID? Well, it's hard to guess in the future because every time they shut down the borders, the president has to issue an executive proclamation. And based on that proclamation, they specify who's subject to it and who is not. But if you're a U.S. citizen, normally based on previous travel bans, based on COVID, if you're a spouse of a U.S. citizen or a minor child, then it's okay. But when you say my family qualify, well, maybe if you have a son or daughter that's above a certain age, then they wouldn't. So it really depends on what's going on. It depends on what's going on in your case and what the relative is, who it is, and the travel ban proclamation that's issued to know what's going on there. Not able to tell you per se more than that because it just varies. But if you are thinking about your spouse, for example, usually they satisfy it, but who knows, maybe things go crazy and they ban them too. So what I'll be thinking about, if you are planning on eventually moving to the United States, start the process for getting green cards for your family members, for example, spouse or minor children, so that they have that protection. But if you're going to continuously live overseas, getting a visa for them might not be the best thing to do or feasible. You can always start the process with Form I-130 and not finish it up until you need to finish it up. So you should definitely consult with an attorney in private if you have any plans of doing something like that or moving back to the United States, all that kind of stuff. But thank you for the question, Noah. Sanam asks, if I take unemployment benefits, is there any bad effect to applying your citizenship? So unemployment benefits are a state benefit that you pay into when you're working. So it's nothing bad on itself. You paid it. It's like money you're paying into a pension program that you get paid back when the need arrives. So unless you commit fraud by lying to get the unemployment benefit, like a crime, there's nothing wrong with getting unemployment benefits because you're getting your money back. You paid into it, so it's your right. COVID Khalid asks, hi JQK, on the average, how long does it take for USCIS to finish biometrics and background checks? And also, if my biometrics have been applied to my application, does that my background is done? There's no answer to any of this question. There are no averages, and so it varies. For right now, have U.S. citizen marriage cases that are getting their receipt notices for adjustment of status marriage along with the biometrics on the same day. That's that fast. And then I have employment-based cases where people are getting the green cards for employment where, what is it, October, 3-4 months have passed and we still haven't received a biometrics notice. And then once you get the fingerprints in, every case is different. Someone's background might be very simple and they can look it up. Someone might have convoluted background, requires more research. So there's no averages to any of this stuff. But it's not really something I think or care about if I was you. If you don't have any issues or something like that, then there's nothing to worry about. If you're from certain countries, yeah, there's gonna be something to worry about, and there's nothing you can do about it. It really depends on a lot of individual information. I don't have an average answer that I can give to you because you're not an average person, you're you. And so we always have to look at it in that way. But thanks for the question. User 39 asks, I'm a US citizen, can I file a petition for my mother and sibling under 21 at the same time? So it's a very important question. It comes up a lot. Yes, if you're a US citizen, you can apply for your sibling and your mother. They're separate petitions, so keep that in mind. And so you have to file for your mom an I-130 and I-130 for your sibling under 21. However, practically speaking, that's problematic because the case for your mom, under normal conditions, let's say before COVID, would take 1 or 2 years to complete. The petition for your sibling could take 10, 15, 20 years. And so, it comes a problem. Depending on how old your sibling is, the maneuver on this is that we first file for the mother, they get their green card, they immediately turn around and apply for their child, your sibling who's under 21, and that's the fastest way to get both of them coming here. But it depends on how old your sibling is, and if your mother could get her green card in time to be able to reapply while the child's under 21. Even if they go over 21, it's still faster for a green card holding mother to petition for their over 21 single child, not married. If they're married, the case goes away. Then waiting for a sibling petition, brother sister case, because it takes so long. So there's a lot of planning, strategy, timing, maybe expedite requests that need to be done to get a case like this through. But your basic question, can you file for both of them? Yeah, it's possible, but it gets, as always, more nuanced than that, and you have to strategize. And that's where a lawyer comes in to talk about planning it out. A good lawyer who thinks through to far down the future, not just immediately what's in front of him. So if you're interested in having a consultation, just email the office, info@jqqlaw.com. Mosaib Khan asks, greetings JQK, hi. My wife, a US citizen, applied for my I-130 while in the United States, and currently she's traveled to Saudi Arabia where I reside. Will she need to travel back to US for anything? Yes. So if, unless she's working for an international company of some sort, it's very specific kind of company, so for the US government, for your case to be finished, your wife has to either be domiciled and living in the United States or intend to move with you at the time your green card is issued. Now, that second part where I say have to move with you once the green card is issued is not adjudicated the same everywhere. And so some embassies, some consular officers will say, no, I want to have proof that your wife's living in the US, give me a lease and work thing, and any proof that you have you're living there, they're going to be really strict on it. But some embassies are not. My guess is in Saudi Arabia, they're going to be strict. So get the I-130 approved, and then you have to plan out. Go talk with a lawyer, schedule a private consultation, info@jqqlaw, that's my website, email, to see what you need to do. Maybe you push back finishing off the case, at least get the I-130 approved, but hold off on finishing consular processing until you know you're going to move here, or plan it out properly. But eventually, for you to get the green card, she has to either be living here or intend to file soon. but it depends on what's going to happen with the consular officer, how they interpret these rules. Plus, there's the affidavit of support requirement. If your wife's not working in the United States, doesn't have U.S. income, that could be problematic. You'll need a joint sponsor. Christoph asks, hi John, I sent my passport in Cape Town and was sent back to me because of the travel ban. Now I'm forced to book for an interview but no dates. What can I do? Unfortunately, the embassy is supposed to do the interviews and still issue the visa, but you won't still be able to enter the United States unless you stay outside of South Africa for 2 weeks. But practically speaking, the embassy will just say we're not staff and we're not doing interviews. So what can you do? I can't give individual legal advice because you might have some sort of exception that may allow you to do something. But for majority of people that are in South Africa going through the situation you're going through, there's not much you can do other than wait, unfortunately. Hello, I'm a US citizen, over 21. I applied for my parents. They're currently in India. Their case is in the NBC. They have a B1 visa as a tourist visa. Can they travel here to US and bring the case here? Well, I'm not allowed to say for you to do that. When you have a B1 or a B2 visa, it's a tourist visa. And a tourist visa says I'm coming to visit the United States without the intent to stay or apply for a green card. I'm gonna leave. But if you know already beforehand that you're only going to use this tourist visa with the actual intent of staying in the United States, well, that could be problematic. That could be considered misrepresentation or fraud. Practically speaking, this happens all the time and nothing bad happens. There are cases that say it's okay, unless, they go and lie to the officer's face or something like that. But I can't recommend someone does that. If your parents, are interested in visiting, and once they're here, like I had a client who was from India, parents came to visit when the I-130 was pending, and while they were here, their grandchild got really sick and they had to be in the hospital for an extended period of time, and their tourist visa was about to end, and they didn't even want to stay here, but they had to because the kid. And I said, you know what, why keep extending a tourist visa? You know you're gonna be here longer because the grandchild needs help and you wanna be the family together. Just file for adjustment status. We have proof for reason they had a return ticket. The intent when they came in wasn't to stay, but the situation changed. We have proof of that. And so they never really get into that USCIS, but we filed it. So, but for me to tell you, yeah, misuse the tourist visa to come in to adjust, I can't say that because that would be, perpetuating potential misrepresentation fraud. I'm not allowed to do that. But that's the whole situation with that. Our Hamarkam says, is there any way I can expedite my wife's I-485 interview on humanitarian grounds if USCIS is not responding? Very rarely. I mean, what are the humanitarian grounds? What difference does it make? You have to have a good reason and proof and all that kind of stuff. Alright, says Congress also involved, no results. Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to expedite their case. So what's different than your case that would, need that? So that's about it. Glenn asks, I just found out that my girlfriend, who is a green card holder, has been registered to vote and has voted in a federal election. What are the repercussions? Unfortunately, the repercussions for voting in a federal election are deportation, removal from the United States. So if they find out, they're just going to put you in court, finish up the court case, and send the person back home. Unless there's just no way to fix that. It's really, really it's like the death sentence. So that's about it, unfortunately. Mississippi Mister asks, I entered to USA on a B2 visa on May 9th and married a US citizen in September and filed my case in December. Is that fine, or will it take me as an overstay? If you're married to a US citizen, it doesn't matter, it should be fine. When you marry, one is, if you file for a green card case timely, while it's pending, they're not going to bother you, but especially if you're married to a US citizen, overstaying doesn't matter. So probably, I don't know your individual case to be able to advise. That might be other nuanced kind of stuff, but generally speaking, that's not an issue. Tenzin asks, how long does it take to receive an N14 from USCIS? N14 is when USCIS does a naturalization or citizenship interview, and they ask you for more evidence or notice of intent to deny or something like that. There is no time it's just whenever USCIS wants to do it. It could be months and months and months. There's no fixed time for that. Stella, hi Stella, good to see you. Stella is a friend. Hello John, I've been a resident almost 2 years. What if I get married? Should I wait more 3 years to apply for citizenship, or I just 1 year to complete 3 years like a resident? So if you've been a resident for 2 years, and congratulations on finding somebody and stuff, good to hear from you. So at this point, it's not going to make a difference in your citizenship. You'll have to wait the full 5 years. If you marry a US citizen today, you have to wait 3 years after getting married, living together, for the faster version of citizenship. But because you already have 2 years as a green card holder and the additional 3 years of marriage, it's all going to end up as 5 years. So you're going to have to wait the full 5 years before you can file for US citizenship. Just email me. You know how to connect with me. We know each other, and we can talk more about it in private if needed. I have people that, I'm on video a lot and my name's out there. People abuse this and take my image and my name and try to fool people into paying them, which they're successful many times. Whenever you're contacting the JQK law firm, whether you're talking to myself or my associate Anya Sergeyeva, we're always going to do it by video to the extent possible. Sometimes you might say, I can't do video, and I don't like that. I usually say, no, it has to be a video. But you're always going to see me, and you know it's me. Never a phone call, never just by email. If you're going to do a consultation, my consultations are paid. You always expect to see me, and we're going to talk really thoroughly, and you'll be able to hear my voice, and you can see my personality, how I just talk. If it's anything different, it's fraud. So definitely the appropriate way to contact me is always by emailing me at info@jqqlaw.com. Don't send it to other emails. We had one guy who got an email called JQK Laws at an S and was fooling people like that. Some guy put my name on Facebook and contacting people and getting clients, stealing money. So be careful of this kind of stuff. There's not much I can do. I tried these websites. Facebook doesn't give a damn. They let the fraud perpetuate, unfortunately, even though I keep telling them that's a fake profile. But what are you going to do? What are the process for sending an invite to someone if I'm a U.S. citizen using graduation as a major-based invitation? There is no invites. The person who wants to come visit the United States applies for a tourist visa. They go to their interview and they explain why they want to come, and that's about it. This invitation letter stuff doesn't really exist, and they don't care. They should just be able to explain what it is. Maybe have documentation, but they usually don't want to see these letters and invitations. It's good to have it maybe, but it's not what they care about. But I want to thank everyone who joined today. It was a great show. I had a lot of fun. If you have interest in scheduling a consultation, email my office at info@jqqlaw.com. If you're interested in doing a fiance visa marriage case, what you got to do is download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. marriageimmigrationlaw.com, and you're going to learn a lot of information about the marriage green card process, fiance process, all the stuff you need to know before you get started. Thank you everyone for joining. God bless, be safe, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. You'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.